Hi. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about what can you do to your property to get the biggest bang for your buck in terms of getting your house ready to show. And it doesn't really require a lot of money, it's just a lot of detail. So the first thing I would recommend is to do the spring cleanup. Make sure that the leaves are all removed from your garden beds, maybe edge and mulch. That always gives a nice appearance. On the Cape, we don't get a lot of snow, so it's something that can last through the season. Making sure that the yard looks neat and clean. I know you can't do a lot of flowers, but just cleaning up and getting rid of all the winter stuff that's hanging around. So that's number one. I'm going to just mention some things that I've seen. I've done a lot of showings in the past month or so with buyers, and some of the things that's just stuck out in my head. Like one thing was a really nice, very expensive home, and they put a pressure-treated deck on the back. Brand new deck, huge, beautiful. But they use pressure-treated wood, and to me, with $1 million home, I expected to see some composite, maybe some of the metal fencing that goes around the railings, something a little more upscale for that price range. I was kind of disappointed. The other thing was paint. Paint gives everything just a fresh appeal. Neutral, soft colors are in. The grays are kind of heading out. White is back. Painting your trim is still really important to make it look fresh and clean. That will add a huge bang for your buck if you get somebody in and paint, if you have wood trim, to paint the trim white. It just gives people a background to look at and see their items there, and it doesn't take away from the rest of the room. The same floorings. A lot of people mention that to me in looking at a lot of these houses, is they like having a uniform floor throughout the whole house. We saw one that had tile in the kitchen and the rest was all hardwood. That's okay. Tile is more durable for a kitchen. Hardwood really needs to get refinished often if you're going to put it in your kitchen. So if you do have hardwood in your kitchen, maybe refinish that to make it look fresh and new. And then things like cabinet pulls, the finishes, faucets, things like that. If you can go upscale on a cabinet pull or a faucet or a light fixture, like a really kind of funky light fixture would be interesting in a dining room. We're seeing a lot fewer chandeliers and more of the ceiling mounted units. I can't think of the name of it, but nothing hanging, it's all kind of up. So it gives that a whole big room feel when you walk through it. The other big thing that stood out with a lot of buyers was a lot of the newer homes are putting in these mirrors that are self-defogging, and they have the time in the corner that's lit up, and the edge of the mirror is all lit up. So it's almost like a night light. It's a nice look. It's very modern looking. And the mirrors are really big, so it does give that pop of wow when you walk into the bathroom. And finally, the biggest thing that you can do to your home to make it really stand out is to declutter. It's tough to do that, but houses are selling really quickly, so assume that your house is going to sell in the next 2 weeks and clear everything out. You should have basic furniture in there so that people can see how big the room is. A king-size bed, if you have it, shows how much room there is in there for a large bed. If you have queens, just remove. If you have 2 or 3 dressers, 1 dresser in the bedroom rather. The living room, minimal furniture. You don't want it to look stark and naked, but to give people an idea as to what they can do in that space. Remove everything off of all the desktops, all the counters. Your kitchen should be completely empty. The key is 3 things on your counter in the kitchen when you're showing a property. And one of those should be decorative. Things off of the mantles and the tops of tables, and, keep it really minimal. Throw everything in a box and throw it in a closet, or stack it in your garage or in the basement. You will use those in your next home to feel homey and comfortable, but you don't need to have them all out when you're showing a property. Like this, I would get rid of a lot of that if I was selling my house right now. So things like that. Those are just some ideas. So if you're thinking about selling, those are things you can start to do now that will get your house ready for the spring market and get it ready to show and get sold right away when you list it. So good luck, everybody. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to chat, and be ready for all the buyers that are jumping back in because these rates are dropping. Have a good week, everyone.